lives lost to gun violence. And so there comes a time when we must all be willing to stand up and to do the right thing. And I think it's time that we send a very strong and loud message to every elected official who has a responsibility to do what is right for the citizens of our cities, our counties, our state, and our nation. We can no longer stand on the sidelines as we witness the many lives that we see lost each and every day. Now, I know there are those who say that we must all respect the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. But in the Declaration of Independence, it is said that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is my position that the right to life trumps the right to bear arms. And we sometimes talk about illegal guns. The problem is not illegal guns. The problem is guns, period. Look at all of the mass shootings that have occurred. They have been done by people who were holding those guns legally. They were purchased legally. And so the problem, period, is one of guns. And that has got to be addressed. The scourge of gun violence must be stopped, and it must be stopped now. Gun violence, there's no question about it, is a national health crisis that cannot be ignored. In the same way that we put resources behind different illnesses, we must do what is right and put the resources behind putting an end to this national health crisis known as gun violence. And so the voices of our young people that have been heard around the nation over the course of the last few weeks are voices that cannot be ignored. And to all elected officials who think that they can ignore the voices of our young people, who are all becoming of voting age, they will be sent a very strong message this June and this November and the next November. So the inactions of elected officials will be dealt with. And I know that it will be dealt with swiftly. You're reading and you're hearing the news over the television about different elected officials that have chosen not to seek re-election. Well, it's because your voices, our young people, your voices are being heard. And there is or was an elected official, a governor, who once said that you must preach to the choir. And I know that sometimes talking to an audience like this, we appear to be preaching to the choir. But the reason you preach to the choir is so that the choir will sing. So we want each and every one of you to sing. Let your voices rise in harmony in the ears of elected officials who have chosen up to this point to ignore the cries for gun reform. And continue to sing. The famed Fannie Lou Hamer, famed civil rights leader, said, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." And so now is the time for action. And I call upon each and every one of you to continue to be advocates for meaningful, common sense gun reform so that this nation can be all that it can be, and that families can stop having to bury their loved ones at the hands of gun violence. Thank you, Ms.